Well, I just came back from the Gold Coast, talked to a bunch of people there, people who've recently started studying, people who have studied there and are working full-time now, people who've applied for their PRs, people who've gotten their PRs, people who are thinking of settling down in Gold Coast, people who are thinking of moving away. And here is everything that I've got from them. Make sure you watch this video till the end to make a decision whether Gold Coast is the right place for you to go or not. Alright, hello, welcome back to another video on this channel. I hope all of you all are doing well. I'm back from my trip. I went to Gold Coast for 4 days actually. Then went to Sydney for 3 to 4 days just to get an idea of what Australia is really like. I had only been to Melbourne before this, and I had been to Melbourne about 7 to 8 times. So it was good to see other parts of Australia. We did a bunch of things. We did skydiving, we went to the Warner Bros theme park, we ran on the beach, we did a lot of things. I believe multiple videos would have come out before this, but this video is all about whether Gold Coast is the right option for international students. We're going to be talking about the cost of living, we're going to be talking about jobs and PR opportunities, we're going to be talking about the weather and climate, which is the third one. We're going to be talking about lifestyle. I have everything written down here. And the fifth one, which is the major one, which is the major differences between Adelaide and the Gold Coast, particularly for international students and migrants. So let's get right into it. First one, let's talk about the cost of living. Now, as I said, I talked to multiple people and this is what I've gotten. If you're living in the surfer's paradise or in and near around the city, in a private rental, obviously, expect to spend around $250 to $300 per week for a private room. Now, I talked to a bunch of Uber drivers that I, accidentally sat in their Ubers. Got to know that a bunch of them do choose to live in and around the surfer's paradise because that's where the life is, that's where Gold Coast is, and I think I'll definitely relate with that. We went to multiple suburbs there in Gold Coast as well. We went to the theme park, which was a little far away as well. We went to Harbour Town, which is basically a direct factory outlet, which is a little farther away as well. And I feel that I would choose to do the same. Basically, I would choose to live in Surfer's Paradise if I am living in Gold Coast. But again, that price does go down to $200 as well if you're choosing to live in the suburbs near Surfer's Paradise. But the corporate lifestyle, the 9 to 5 lifestyle, is 35 minutes outside of Surfer's Paradise. Make sure you're keeping that into account. Talking about 35 minutes outside the CBD, let's talk about public transport. Now, $1.50, that's it. That's all you're paying for the whole day. 50 cents if you're traveling once in, be that a train, a tram, a bus, anything, everything. 50 cents to $1.50 is something that you'll be spending in Gold Coast. So I think it's a great area to be living in because Brisbane is also an hour and a half drive away. But another thing, Gold Coast is a regional area, whereas Brisbane is a metro city, similar to Geelong and Melbourne. Other things, if I talk about food and drinks, I would say it's a little on the pricier side when I compare it to Adelaide, and we'll talk about it in the last section of the video. But yes, expect to spend around $15 to $20 on a shared plate if you're going out with friends, $15 to $17 on a pint of beer. And general groceries and everything is pretty much similar to in the whole of Australia, where you'll be spending around $60 to $70 a week for yourself. Utilities, I got to know, are a little on the cheaper side when it comes to, if I compare it to Adelaide. But if I talk about property prices, it's definitely on the high because Olympics is going to be held in Queensland in 2032, which is Brisbane, obviously. Property prices are at an all-time high. That was the major cost of living. If there's anything, if you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comments below and I can reach out to my friends that I've made and ask them those questions. Next, let's talk about the lifestyle and weather in general. I would say I would love to move to the Gold Coast just for the weather, just for the lifestyle. Obviously, I saw it from a vacation eyes perspective and not from a settling down perspective. But the people that I talked to as well, they said that they feel good after they've finished work. They feel good once they're done with the study aspect of life and the work aspect of life, because weather all around the year is really pleasant. Yes, there's a bunch of rain, but that is something that you'll see consistent throughout Australia. In Adelaide only we've got so much rain this year already. Melbourne is, as you know, it's four different weathers in one day, and when I went to Sydney as well, it was all rain. But again, I think Gold Coast, even when you find yourself on the other side of the spectrum, on the pleasant side of the spectrum, that compared to all other cities, all other states, I would definitely pick Gold Coast. Lifestyle, I would say, was a little more traditional, more laid back. You won't see a lot of, hip and happening places. You won't see a lot of fancy cocktail bars or anything like that. It's more so your pubs, your takeaway shops. Obviously, when you want to explore that chic side of things, that there are different cuisines, different everything, a lot of things to do, a lot of fitness, a lot of activity, a lot of sports, I would say. I personally saw in Gold Coast a lot of paddle courts, a lot of pickleball courts, running tracks, people running on Surfers Paradise, cycling out and about with family. So I think definitely a place that I would look at if I would want to settle down in Australia. Yeah, that was the lifestyle and weather side of things. Let's go on to the main thing, which is jobs and PR opportunities. Now, again, this is something that comes up in every conversation, in whoever you talk to, when you're talking to a migrant, jobs and PR opportunities does come up every single time. Now, one thing that I picked up was that faking work experience was a big thing in Gold Coast. I didn't know that this was such a big thing, because again, I wanted to get myself out of the Adelaide bubble. I wanted to know other aspects of a particular city. It's not a major thing, it's not something that everybody does, but definitely 2 out of the 6 people that I talked to in that space, in that journey, have had acquaintances who have done this sort of thing, spent around $50,000 to $60,000 on it, which is a big amount. Again, to each their own. If I talk about generally how everything is going, especially in the IT space, because that's where a lot of y'all are considering, it has definitely gone down after COVID. Like, it has become a little saturated. That is what I've gotten from the people that I've talked to. Business side of things, business industry is also a little down in terms of opportunities. A lot of people are looking at moving to Brisbane just to get that sort of work experience and open themselves up to, even if it's an employer sponsor thing. I met a nurse there as well. They're pretty happy when it comes to PR opportunities and how the skilled occupation list have been favoring their industry and their occupation. But again, things have slowed down in Gold Coast. The number of places, the number of invites that they've been giving out to general occupations such as IT, business, finance, marketing has gone down a little bit. But again, it's that time of the year as well where everybody is waiting for that new skilled occupation list. A couple of them have been waiting for their invite for a pretty long time, but I think that's where the whole of Australia is going altogether. Now, coming on to the last part, which is the major differences in between Adelaide and Gold Coast. I think Gold Coast definitely has more things to do than Adelaide. Definitely better when it comes to the public transport situation. As I said, spending $1.50 a day, whereas here I'm spending around $9 to $10 a day going to work is definitely something that I would prefer Gold Coast. I think overall lifestyle in Adelaide and the commute is easier. You'll get to do more things in Adelaide, whereas Gold Coast, I saw a lot of traffic. I saw a lot of things crammed in one area. So roads are smaller. Infrastructure, I would say, is better definitely in Adelaide. Other than that, I think if I look at it in terms of future, Adelaide definitely has better career prospects and PR prospects in comparison to Gold Coast. Things are slow everywhere. Let me tell you, things are slow everywhere. But I think Adelaide is currently, as per 2025-2026, it's on a rise. So you will see more employer-sponsored visas as well. You'll see better general skilled migration as well, particularly in comparison to Gold Coast. So that is something that was my personal reflection when I compare both Adelaide and Gold Coast. And this is not, carved in stone. This is just something that I was able to comprehend after my experience, after my friends, after my networks experience, and then also talking to multiple people in Gold Coast. Again, another thing, part-time jobs. Part-time jobs, I talk to a lot of people, and just because there's so much tourism and there's so much hospitality there in Gold Coast, it's much more easier to find a role, your first part-time role, quicker when it comes to other cities, because you can start off working in a restaurant, be that on TFN, be that on ABN, and then get that jump onto the better job, the job not in hospitality, if you get what I mean. I hope this video added value. I hope this video gave you a bit of perspective on how student life is like in Gold Coast. If it did, comment down below, like, share, subscribe, because a lot of you aren't subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.
I know it's bad, but I can't help myself. When I feel sad, I escape from my sense. Lately music's been my reminiscence. That's when I listen.